Hi, I'm Chris Koetzle, Executive Director of the Association of Towns, also known as NYAOT, and I'm joined here today with Sarah Brancatella. She's our Legislative Director and Deputy Director here at the Association. And Sarah, you and I have been talking a lot about the importance of the SWAP program, which seems to be gaining traction here at the legislature. We have the Senate introducing as a one-house bill, so that's great. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of SWAP and what it would mean to our communities?
Sure. I mean, right now, all of the funding that's available for local governments with respect to water and sewer infrastructure is grant based. And that puts us in a situation where we're constantly reacting. We are constantly responding to emergencies or breaks and we don't have the opportunity to do preventative maintenance and routine maintenance. If you get dedicated funding and can rely on that and budget for that, then you can prepare for things and do routine maintenance. And we've seen that done with the CHIPS program, which has been so wildly successful.
Yes.
And the SWAP program just creates a dedicated funding source that we can rely on, that we can budget for. And it puts towns in a position where they're playing less defense and are less reactive and can really be on the offense and prevent public health emergencies, prevent these issues.
We want to point out that Senator Hinchy has been a strong leader on this in the Senate. Her bill is Senate 1850. It's picked up in the Assembly by Assemblywoman Kellis. Her bill is Assembly 6012. Those are important bills for you folks to know about. If you're going to talk to your legislators, please tell them how important it is. You know, one of the issues that we talk about is the important investments in clean water, and we've identified early and continue to talk about nobody should have to compete for clean water in the state of New York. And the problem with the grants program, although we're not advocating the grants programs go away, that makes sense for some of the much bigger capital investments. But the problem is there's winners and there's losers there. So this SWAP program would make sure every town, every community has access to funding to invest in clean water, particularly with the PFOA issue now and the lead pipe issue. Maybe talk a little bit about what's going on there and why that's important now.
Well, I mean, PFOAs are becoming an emerging, no pun intended, an emerging problem in towns. And even though we did not create the situation, we are responsible for the cleanup. And these antiquated pipes, too, do pose a public health risk. As I mentioned, you know, they do have the capability of putting contaminants in the water themselves, in which case then a municipality is responsible for that. Then a municipality does actively contribute to that. So why not stop that? Why not cut that off at the pass before we get to that point where municipalities have to clean up forever chemicals that they helped contribute to by having these antiquated lines? Why not just fund so that we can do the maintenance, that we can do the repairs?
I mean, it's an important investment. Every dollar we talk about in the CHIPS and AIM program is a dollar that's invested in the communities, and one less dollar that has to be levied through the tax of the property tax that the town is levying. Same would be true with SWAP. Every dollar that comes into a town based on this investment from the state, and this is important too, it is not an aid in the traditional sense. It's not a give out, it's not a handout to the towns, it's an investment in the communities, and it's a way to mitigate tax increases on property tax. So every dollar that's in this program, if we can get this program off the ground, I think saves the taxpayer money and also allows for the town to invest in clean water, which is critically important.
And I know that we've heard the Senate One House proposal has $100 million appropriated for the SWAP program. And I know that we've heard, well, how much can that actually do? How much influence could $100 million actually have, especially when it's split amongst all sorts of local government divisions? It's important to get the program off the ground.
Correct.
We need to get something started, and then we can build on it. And depending on how the program is, we're not looking at doing capital repairs, right? We're looking at using the SWAP program initially at doing maintenance, doing preventative things.
Right.
But I would advocate that people need to focus less on the dollar amount attached to the initial program and just focus on the fact that, no, we're getting this program off the ground.
Right.
That is what is important. We can add things on later. We can add dollar amounts later.
I mean, to local governments across the state, $100 million is an investment, and I think appreciated. AIM right now is funded where?
AIM is funded, well, the executive, it's $715 million, and then there's an additional $50 million in temporary municipal assistance,
Right.
which is distributed pursuant to the same formula as AIM, but it is technically a separate thing from AIM.
Right. So those dollars coupled with this really leads to large investments in communities. So I think you're right. You make a great point. Focus on the program and the importance of the program. We can always grow it from there, but we got to get this off the ground and start investing in our communities for clean water. Anything else before we sign off?
I mean, I could go on and on about a whole bunch of different legislative programs, but I think today focusing on SWAP and the importance of clean water and the importance of this state clearly showing that they are committed to clean water in New York State is critical. I think that's really what we wanted to touch on today.
Sarah's doing a great job at the legislature and with the governor's office. We'll continue to advocate on your behalf for this program and others. As Sarah mentioned, there are so many other issues that we will come talk about again. But today we wanted to really impress upon you the importance of calling your legislator and getting your voice heard on how important SWAP is to your community, how important it is for the state to invest in your water and sewer infrastructure with direct dollars for you to help protect your taxpayers, help make sure you have a clean, healthy, safe, and reliable water supply. Again, the Senate, Senator Hinchey is Senate 1850, and Kellis has Assembly 6012. Talk to your senators, talk to your assembly member, how important those are, and check back here again for an issue in focus when we come back.